Yo, what's good, everybody? I just want to run through price today, look at why I took 0 trades because price action was buns, and yeah, learn some great lessons from trading today, right? So let's just hop in. Coming into the day, top down bias, I was honestly expecting a pretty nice setup, right? ES comes and sweeps out all-time highs in the overnight session, and then we start to retrace lower, right? We retrace down to right around here, right, where we start to fill these fair value gaps, and then on open, I have a really nice first draw on liquidity, which is this hourly fair value gap right here, nice and untapped, really perfect, aligned with this order block. And then as well, the thing that sealed it for me is having midnight open perfectly aligned there, right? So since we're pulling away, right, we're bigger time frame bullish, we're back into an imbalance, and now I'm expecting to definitely see, open go lower and then run higher, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm looking for a long, right? Super simple. Even though we just swept all-time highs, there's a good chance that we still displace higher or even manipulate this high once more before falling lower if it's going to be a bigger time frame liquidity sweep, right? So checking this shit out, let's go a little bit lower and let's look at what happens, right? So on open, we pretty much end up playing some games, right? So on open, we do this first. We open, price runs higher literally on the 930 candle, and we go take this high, we place an SMT. From here, we deliver a really tight short model here on NQ that I'm not interested in hopping in because I'm just not convicted for shorts. I just don't think the price action was there, right? So as you see, we place in this SMT right here between these two highs. And then from there, we sell lower. If you want to take kind of second century to just target this, and then maybe, I believe this is midnight open right here. That actually was not too bad. That was a pretty, I would say, relatively high conviction trade. But I just don't like it simply because I'm not wanting to trade those lower time frames, literally like 30 seconds into open. And as well, trading against the draw, it's not really my favorite type of thing, right? So I didn't take that trade, and because of that, I'm sitting here watching, right? So like I said, I'm long biased, so I'm wanting to see what does the market have to do to give me a high quality long, right? I want to see some type of manipulation away from the draw, so manipulation lower, to a point at which we shouldn't go any lower, then a run higher, and then from there, we can take a long, right? Once we get what's it called? Confirmation that we're going to change order flow direction, right? Then we can take a long. So here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at price right here. On NQ, we end up running lower and placing an SMT at this 930. I believe we placed an SMT 930. And then if we check out NQ, we don't, yes, doesn't actually take this low over here. And then our 930 low actually is right here. So I guess we don't really have an SMT. But we come down and we I mean, you could argue whether or not it's an SMT, right? Because like we have SMT here and then we come back lower and sweep it one more time. So it's kind of just nasty all around, right? Watching those things, it's like, do I really want to trade this if it's not perfect, it's not calling at me, screaming at me, all those things, right? So watching it, noting all that, here's where I take a stab long, right? And my broker literally glitched. I'll explain it in a second, but this is what I'm looking at, right? So I'm looking at once we inverse this fair value gap and then we create a change in the state, I'm looking to get tapped to that change, and then this is the trade idea. We're going to play this with a tight stop. We're going to look for a full continuation higher, right? And my break-even point is going to be this very shallow high, right? Literally, because I'm so convicted that once we get past this point right here, we should 100% go to this high, but not even that, right? It's the fact that this is the bigger time frame aligned model. So if we're going to run higher today, this is going to be win, right? And the market can just go without me right now. So this is going to be the only opportunity for me to get involved, right? We could run like this, and then FOMC could bring us all the way lower, or just do nothing. Like FOMC's done that a lot of times, right? And especially when we're expecting FOMC to be a no interest rate change day, this is something that we can kind of bring into our minds, right? So what I end up doing is I take this trade, my broker's glitched, and it enters my position like down here, and the fill is like constant, and there's like no P&L change. I lost like $50 because I entered, re-entered. I don't know, it's some BS, but pretty much it doesn't go through, and I exit the position as we would have got stopped at break even anyways, right? Because right here I go stop break even, we end up getting flushed, and that's it, right? So then from there, this is a second opportunity you could have taken, but watching this all play out, I really just don't like trading at this point because of how inefficient price is. This is what I had to take, stop at this low, and then just taking an inverse. But once again, it ends up pretty much just edging, right? And we end up holding this fair value gap right here and running lower. Then from here, we end up just running lower throughout the whole rest of the day. And if I don't see clean delivery by anywhere around like, at this point, I step off and I say, okay, I'm going to wait for FOMC. We'll see what we want to do. 1050 does pretty much nothing, bro. Honestly, there's something around here, but that's pretty much it, bro. 1050 was buns. And now we're waiting for FOMC here. So what does FOMC do? Let's look and reevaluate our bias on the bigger time frame for FOMC, right? So what we're checking out here is that ES is much lower inside this range, right around 2 p.m. And then NQ is a little bit higher inside this range. We're making a bit of bullish SMT, right? So we have bullish SMT externally and internally. We're looking to see what does that mean, right? Can that be the thing that, FOMC caused us to displace higher and then we can run all of this today? That's what I'm expecting. And that's why I'm looking at ES as such a clean opportunity with all this generated liquidity, right? I want to see FOMC give some type of manipulation, another SMT, and then a run higher, right? But we end up not seeing that at all. And FOMC is choppy, most likely as we don't change interest rates. And then I just decide to step off, right? So how I'm trading FOMC, keep this in mind, y'all. This is why a lot of people don't like trading FOMC. They don't understand it, and they can never get good trades on FOMC. You have to understand, 2 p.m. will be the fake out. So 2 p.m., you're going to see an initial move. This is most likely going to be a fake out, right? Market from here is most likely going to just generate liquidity, play around with you, and give some people that think, okay, 2 p.m. drops, okay, now we're going to hop into the, FOMC, okay, let's go. Trading their manipulation reversal, let's go, right? But they don't account for 2:30 because 2:30 is when they actually drop the shit that moves the market, right? So 2:30 happens. That's when you see our second manipulation, and anytime after 2:30 is when I'm welcome to trade, right? So if I would have seen something like this at 2:30, where we start to really give us some nice volume and fair value gaps, and then we run like here, you bet I'm taking a long right here with a very tight stop to trade all the way to here. Like that would have been super, super clean if the market shows it to us, but it does not, and because of that, there was no trade, bro. So that's pretty much it for price action. This happens around market close. No shot I'm trading this, but this was exactly what I was looking for. Manipulation lower, maybe something a little bit tighter, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's pretty much it. So second thing I want to talk about here in this entire trade recap is I want to examine a little bit of think of market theory, right? Why are we running lower this whole day? Like, how can we explain these moves? How can we explain things using something that a lot of traders don't know about because they don't actually know about the stock market? There's this thing known as the efficient market hypothesis. Pretty much what it says is that all current information is already reflected in stock prices. So that says that if you go online and you see something about a stock, you see earnings jumps, right? Okay, that's good, go buy. That's not smart because the stock has already moved according to the earnings, right? Information is the most precious thing on Wall Street. So how do we do this, right? How do we track if that's true, right? And if the markets move off of what's currently known, right? And we know that the moves today are going to be most likely dependent on interest rates. How do we figure out why we moved lower, right? That must mean that we already knew what interest rates were going to do. So let's check this out. Fed decision in January, poly market. This is betting markets, right? This is what not only just dumbasses who trade in their room because they think it's fun, right? And all that kind of shit. And they just think, okay, I'm going to become a millionaire from trading poly market. No, real people hop on this and use real information because once again, information is the thing that makes you money here. So right now we're looking at this. If you look right here, we're seeing since December and even coming into today, it was a literally 98.7% chance, 99.1% chance, bro, that 99.3 that we are going to have no change on interest rates. That's what everything is saying today. So when we come in and we see market running lower after sweeping all-time highs, there's most likely a reason that we're going to do that, and we're not going to make a big move, right? It's showing us that most likely we are repricing the stock to where we should be, according to the day, right? Why didn't we do this move earlier? Who knows, right? Maybe this is where the stock wants to be. I'm not here to debate that, but when I see these moves lower, it makes sense given the information that we have that we are not going to change interest rates, right? We're going to reprice to normalcy to where the stock should be, right? So if we had bullish expectation, too much bullish expectation, we now need to rebalance, to reprice the stock to where it should actually be worth, right? Because that's how a lot of these moves happen. Like we see an imbalance, right? We move higher really fast and the market needs to reprice to where it actually should be. Then from there, we continue running higher. You know what I'm saying? So very simple, interesting stuff to look at how the stock market and shit is moving. I'm not telling you guys that's exactly how it's working. I'm just giving you guys an extra layer to your analysis and thinking of stocks and the economics of everything in general, right? So hope you guys enjoyed the trade recap. Hope you guys learn a little bit of something that can help you not only just in your own trading, but watching how I can check out the charts and literally look at it and confidently say, bro, I'm not touching this bit today. That is the type of stuff that we all need to be adopting in our own trading. And that is when we actually start to see consistent success, is when we establish a level of standards, and any trade that's not above that level of standards, we just simply confidently say no to, because we're not beggars looking for every single opportunity. We're simply choosers and selectors that say, I only want this one, I only want this one, I only want this one. And if that means taking 2 trades in the week, but both of them are green 9 out of 10 times, bro, who is not going to do that, right? But instead, you want to take 3, 4, 5 trades, right? Just to see, if I can be green on the week. And that's why you take so many L's. That's why shit doesn't work out for you, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, if you're a break-even trader, hope that shit got through to you. And hope you guys can grow from the video. Stop for the let you boys go. And thank you all for coming. So, peace out.